Hi everyone, this is Maya of Shining Bull Astrology. I actually recorded this yesterday and I hope it works this time. So today I'm going to be speaking about both Terra, more like Terraforma Labs or the Terra ecosystem, and the Tron ecosystem. So I'm going to be talking about both of these ecosystems in the same video. In light of current events, and so that you may ideally benefit from this, what I perceive about this as an astrologer. So first, and I have a lot of notes here, so I'm going to try and do this well. So first of all, when Terra's coins, the UST algorithmic stablecoin, and its kind of like co-weight counterpart in that algorithmic stablecoin model, Luna, when they both had this, international newsworthy outside of crypto too crash. Okay, that happened when, astrologically speaking, the Sun and Rahu were very closely conjunct in Aries, and they were both almost exactly trining Terra's natal Saturn and Terra's natal Ketu, who are both in Sagittarius along with Terra's natal moon. And actually, I really wish I had seen this for my people. When I first did the Terra report, I do see that I did mention that I saw something that people needed to be very on the watch for. If you're one of my Patreons, then you will be able to check this because you have that report up there. But yeah, so I do see that I mentioned that, but I also see that kind of like I saw that as being some kind of regulatory thing, and I really wish that I had seen this, but it's just like I have so many charts of so many coins and I don't have them all in my mind, and so I knew obviously about the Sun Rahu conjunction, but I didn't think to cross-reference it with Terra's chart specifically, since usually what I'm just looking at generally is Bitcoin, right? So yeah, I wish I had seen this because it's quite clear actually what, it's a pretty intense thing that happened on the natal chart is what I'm saying. The thing is that at that same time, Venus in transit was right on Terra's natal Mercury. And what's really interesting about this to me is that Terra's natal Venus and natal Mercury are both in Pisces, and they're forming a special yoga which creates a situation where Mercury, since Mercury is debilitated in Pisces, has some serious issues, and then Venus, since Venus is exalted in Pisces, Mercury has to go through this kind of difficulty, and then Venus kind of pushes Mercury out of it. So the thing that's interesting to me here is that Venus was the trigger for this plunge, which was devastating to this ecosystem and to many people. So it's interesting because Venus is supposed to help, right? And actually, like Mercury being the 10th lord from the moon too, you would think Venus would help their kind of the position in the world, right? But it didn't. Now, Venus is also the lord of their 6th and 11th houses from the moon. So that definitely has something to do with it. But what I'm seeing, also looking generally, but now this also happened within the Venus Mahadasha, Venus Bhukti, and the Pratyantardasha was Mars. But Terra was first taken up to its all-time high also during the Venus Mahadasha. At the begin, like also during the Venus Mahadasha. So what I'm seeing is that actually, if this team is very resilient and very wise, and I'll speak a little bit about this, then I see that they can actually it can actually like be a catalyst for them to move forward in a new and better or more resilient way. Now, I want to preface this by making you aware of the fact that the natal chart I use is not for the coin Luna. It's for the whole ecosystem of Terra. So, and if you're following this story closely, you know that obviously like even their plans for resurgence will obviously require, although things are changing very quickly, but will likely require a much different model, although things are changing very fast. So I don't want you to think that by saying this, I mean that you should go out and buy Luna. That's not what I'm saying, although I will get into this and you could if you wanted to. I'll go further in depth here. Okay, so but first, so that's what was happening on Terra's chart when this happened. Now, at the same time, there were some very significant transits happening both on the charts of Tron, the currency Tron, and the chart of the Tron founder, Justin Sun. Okay, so now, one of those transits was also that same Venus transit. For Justin Sun, his Venus is a really nice planet for Justin Sun. So, and yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that that same moment in time both was the catalyst for Terra having this collapse, but it was also the catalyst for Tron to rise. And if you are somebody who follows that, you know that just quite relatively speaking recently, Justin Sun launched an algorithmic stablecoin called USDD. And that has like a pairing with the currency Tron in a similar way, I believe, although I'm not an engineer, but from what I understand, that a similar pairing to how Luna and UST had their pairing. Of course, Justin Sun says that he's backing his USDD with a different kind of reserve system or breakdown that, according to him, makes it more resilient to what happened with UST, but I am not an expert on this. This is what I understand, but the point is, what I'm saying is just that. And so this is all so clear to me, and I'm not going to say everything that I see here regarding this matter, but I do see that that moment in time was like kind of like a branching out of two destinies. Like it created this branching of these two destinies, the destiny of Terra and the destiny of Tron, and they branch out from the same single moment in time. They're very much related, so astrologically speaking. So now, so my big message here is that at this moment, what I see is that for the general investor, and I personally, I'm not a financial advisor, but I personally am taking this advice for myself, Tron and the Tron ecosystem right now is something that can end up being a nice investment, okay? And the other reason I say this is because Tron actually in January of this year of 2022 entered into a special dasha sequence as per the D10 chart, which is a chart that which Vedic astrologers use, that shows that it will be doing work that changes and gives it a space in this world and like kind of like defining work. Okay, now about Terra. Terra is going to change into a new Pratyantar Dasha, and that happens relatively soon. I'll give you the exact dates, okay? But yeah, I'm just checking my notes. So I'll give you the exact dates, but I'll just give you my general thing on Terra, on Luna, because people are asking me about Luna since the price went down so much and they want to know if they should buy it because it will rise again. Now, what I see is you could do this. I'm not a financial advisor. As an astrologer, I see that you could do this. And yeah, it could get you gains through to mid-December, but I recommend you watch the rest of this video because I personally would not do that yet, okay? Because, and like actually I'm recording this video again on Wednesday, but even this weekend there's something kind of happening for them, so there's like, but I'll give you the dates so you know when to, in my opinion, wait before buying in. And then also I would also say, you know, well, anyway, I'm not an advisor, but I'll just give you the dates and what I see as an astrologer. So, now, first of all, on Friday the 3rd of June, this is an important date for all markets. This is when it's like right as Mercury is turning direct and and Saturn is turning retrograde. So at this time, Sun is gonna be transiting Terra's natal Mars. Is that right? Or did I mean, yeah, that is right. Okay, so Sun will be transiting their natal Mars. Actually, that natal Mars creates a Viprit Raj Yoga for Terra, which is like when they kind of like defeat their enemies type of yoga. So Sun will be transiting natal Mars, and at the same time, Moon is transiting 8th from natal Moon, and that's actually not such a probably not such a great place, not just because it's 8th from the natal Moon, for other reasons, so for Terra. So however, that same place where Moon will be transiting is actually a really nice place for Tron. It's like on their natal Jupiter and Venus, I believe. So in the sign of Cancer I'm talking about. So yeah, so what I see about this, the 3rd of June, I'm seeing it should be really good for Tron, but for for Terra, what I'm seeing is it's like there's going to be a lot of work being done, like a lot of kind of action being taken. So price wise, I'm not sure, you know, but it's kind of more like intense work is being done and intense things are happening, and it can be a bit tumultuous there, but it doesn't mean it's not positive, you know. But in terms of the price, it's not necessarily so excellent. It's more like, yeah, hope that made sense. And then but on the 11th of June, on Saturday, the 11th of June, Terra is going to shift into a whole new Pratyantar Dasha of Rahu. And the next day, especially the next day, which is Sunday, when Venus is going to be trining natal Saturn and Ketu, and I think Moon is actually, I don't know if I wrote that down, but anyway, what I saw is that that can actually be a good moment that creates something good for the ecosystem. Now, so what I'm saying here is that me personally, I would wait until the 11th of June, see what's happening with the project before I bought into Luna. Okay, and you know, this is also common sense because a lot of things are shifting as we speak, and so yeah, but as an astrologer, and me personally, if I were to buy in, I would definitely wait and see what develops on the 11th of June before I make that decision. Even though I'm predicting that that should help them and take and be a really good kind of new beginning. Okay, now lastly, I'm seeing that on Wednesday, the 13th of July, so this is farther along. So Wednesday, the 13th of July, now this is a situation where Mercury is transiting natal Rahu, Moon is transiting natal, Mars is transiting natal Sun, and Moon is transiting natal Saturn and Ketu, and Jupiter is on natal Mercury, and so what I see in the end, what I'm predicting about this date is it can be something positive for Terra, but it is something that if I were to advise them, I don't, but if I were to advise them, I would tell them, like, leading up to that date, it's really important to prioritize their partnerships and also to listen to, take advice, like take guidance from their developers who've built apps on their ecosystem. And those would be like my astrological remedies to mitigate what's happening, to get the best results out of that transit. So what I'm saying is, you know, really a Saturnian message here that nothing is decided. We do have the ability to change how things turn out for ourselves. So that's why people consult astrologers. Otherwise, why would you even ask an astrologer what to do? It's because there is that space, that Saturnian space where things aren't decided. It depends on your action, and it's all, you know, we can like, it's yeah, I mean, from one way of looking at it, that's what it's like. So that's what I wanted to say about that. And then my last message, so again, my general message is, as I mentioned at the beginning, is that right now I see, like, me personally, I am going to be looking into this USDD. I'm going to look into it because, and I have some Tron, and I'm going to look into staking both of those, or getting as an LP token from both of those. I'm going to look into it because I see that Tron's ecosystem is really going to be propelled by this moment in time, and I see this as being very good for Tron. And then my other message is that if one wanted to invest into Luna, I would personally wait until the 11th of June, watch what develops, and then yes, I do see that somebody could make gains through to mid-December with that of this year. So that's my message there. And then I just want to say another message, which is that I think it's important that even though this was devastating, and even though Do Kwon, the founder of Terra, has a controversial personality, which you know, right? So even still, first of all, as an astrologer looking at the chart, I do see, like, as a leader, actually he's a very strong leader, which probably you know, otherwise he wouldn't have the following he does. But I also see that it's important that people check what they're putting out there about this, because whenever it is devastating, it's created damage, of course, but we have to always be thinking in a productive mode, and productivity requires positivity. Productivity and trying to solve a problem stems from positivity. It cannot stem from negativity. And so the only useful thing at this moment is positivity and productivity to solve this problem, to mitigate it. You can't go back and change reality. You can't give people back billions or millions of dollars. And also, you know, SHIT happens in every aspect of life, and you can't in my opinion, we should not just it's just that blaming is just not going to help anything. And the fact is that the losses have been incurred by people, and this has happened. And so the only way forward is forward. And so what I'm saying here is that negativity doesn't help anything. It doesn't help the people who have been damaged by this financially. And at the same time, people who have been damaged by it financially also shouldn't put negativity towards this person, Do Kwon, because we all should know that you don't invest more in crypto than you're willing to lose, and you just simply, everybody's decision is their own decision. And the thing that I'm trying to say here is that I think that this person, Do Kwon, is a young person and in a very vulnerable situation. So no matter how problematic his personality is and what happened, yes, people can say definitely stemmed from that, oversight stemming from his personality. But regardless, I feel like he should be protected by his community at this time, and I feel like the wider crypto community should be careful and try and stay in a positive mindset when interfacing with this subject matter, because it does affect reality, especially now when we're all on social media, and that's how we're all interfacing with this subject matter. Things move, you know, negativity can it's just not good. And I don't and I think people have to be careful, and so that that's what I have to say as an astrologer. And I hope that people take that to heart and kind of contemplate that. And that's what I have to say as an astrologer. So I hope that this is useful to you, and all the best. Bye.